Yo, what's up? It is let me see, 6:54. I just got to the shop and we're starting a new thing on the channel. Series, I guess you can call it if you want. And we'll see how it does. But basically, we're going to do for the month of October a video every day. A video every work day. So Monday through Friday, maybe some Saturdays. And they're going to be kind of just raw, real, just our day-to-day stuff going on in the shop or going to job sites or whatever we got going on. This is something I've been thinking about for months. I may have even talked about it on the channel before. I don't remember. I know I just talked to all my patrons over on Patreon about it in our chat that we have going. And so definitely feeling kind of motivated to do this now. Been thinking about it for months. Haven't been able to kind of kick it into gear and start. But today's the last day of September. You'll see this on the first day of October, which is tomorrow. Yeah, figured what better time to start. So we're going to do this for the month of October, and then we'll see how it goes. And if you guys like it, we'll keep it going. If you don't like it, we won't keep it going. But no way to find out than to try it. I feel like it'll be fun. It'll be a challenge. It'll be good for the channel. And you'll get to see some different style videos, because when I do a project video, it's like we gather all the footage and pick out all the good stuff and present like this perfect little thing, this video, which my videos are far from perfect. That's not what I'm saying. But this is the vacuum pump. But this is going to be more of just, like I said, raw video of day-to-day shop stuff. So we'll see how it goes. I got my coffee. We still have a ton of doors to glue up, so we are going to get after it today. So last week I did not get as much done as I had hoped. We since the last video of the doors, I've only got 2 other doors glued up, so we still have 10 doors to glue up. But we still had all the rails to make. We still had a bunch of panels to make, and we had some other small projects that we were working on last week that you guys didn't see. But so we didn't. It's not like we were working the whole week on the doors. But we have all the parts made. All the panels are glued up. All the rails are glued up. Everything is ready. So we have some processing to do with some dados on these stiles and rails and cut the tenons. Panels have to be cut down to size, and then we can start gluing. So I'm hoping by the end of today we are gluing up doors. I'd like to get some glued up today, but I've got to take plastic wrap off all this stuff, get the rails, plastic wrap off the rails, and start start processing this stuff. When Rowdy gets in, I'm gonna have Rowdy cut panels down to size, and probably start sanding those. So yeah, we'll be gluing up doors. Maybe after lunch we'll be gluing up doors. We're not gonna get them all glued up today, but we'll get some of them.
Okay, so over the weekend I got all these rails glued up. Well, I got the veneers glued on them, so I had the joint and edge and then rip them down to their final width. And then we are done with all the parts. So it feels amazing to be at this stage and have all the parts done. Rowdy's taking the plastic off those stiles, just kind of getting started this morning. Then I'm cross-cutting the rails down to their finished size. So the amount of work, I mean, you guys have seen in the previous 2 videos of the doors, the amount of work that has gone into all these parts. It is crazy the amount of hours that we have into this job, but it has been fun, challenging, and I'm always up for a good challenge. So I'm getting the stiles. They needed to be jointed on one edge and just ripped down to size. Rowdy's cutting the rest of the panels down to their finished sizes. And here we go, just jointing the edge, getting them nice and straight, and then I rip them to their final width. So the stiles I'm ripping right to their final width, as well as the rails, but then I'm running the stiles long when we glue them up, so then I can just cross cut them to their final height. Rowdy is Just cutting the panels down to size. It has been awesome having Rowdy in the shop. He has been a huge help. Awesome guy to have around. It's nice to have somebody to work with that you get along with and not be by yourself all the time. So again, using that tenoning jig, cutting the tenons on these. These doors are 1 3/8 where the other ones were 1 3/4. So these I'm able to do just in 2 passes, cut the tenons, which is great. The other ones, if you guys remember last week in the video, I had to do 3 passes. And this was after lunch. I think we're just kind of coming up with a game plan and deciding what we're going to do next. We rolled up the vacuum bag. We're officially done with the vacuum bag on this job, which is crazy. Rowdy's starting to lay out doors for glue ups. I'm still cutting some tenons on the rails. And Rowdy's over there cutting dominoes and all the parts so we can glue them up. And then we're off to the races with the glue up. Again, we're using 14mm by 140mm dominoes. Basically, the biggest dominoes that you can use is what we're using. And these will be super strong doors. And it is awesome to see these things finally coming together. And then I'm starting on something fun. Got some 8/4 cherry I picked up last week, and I'm building a desk for my home office. We have our guest room that we're going to transform into an office. I think we might do a Murphy bed in there. But first, starting with the desk, 8/4 cherry. It's going to be like a waterfall desk with a drawer stack on the right side, and I'm pretty stoked about it. This material is really nice. I love cherry, and it's actually pretty cheap these days. But not a lot of people using cherry anymore. And so these boards were, I think 2 of them were 9 feet. The other ones were 10 footers. I'm going to use just under 9 feet of these for the desk. So I'm just milling up the whole thing. I'll glue these up and then we'll miter and cut everything down to size. But here, just really trying to get everything nice and flat, get a straight edge on everything. Then we can put it through the planer. And man, those things are pretty heavy to move around. But this planer, that planer I've had for over 3 years, and I have not turned the helical head, the carbide cutters on the cutter head yet. And it's still cutting really, really nice. Then we go through the sander. Everything gets a pass on each side. And we got one more glue up done. So we got, I think, 3 doors glued up today. Everything else is ready to go for tomorrow. So we'll get more glued up tomorrow. And that's it for today, guys. Calling it a day. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and we will see you again tomorrow. Peace.